New South Wales Deputy Premier John Barilaro tweeted earlier today that Sydney should cancel its harbour fireworks display because of the bushfires. Now, about 2 hours ago, though, the Rural Fire Service granted Sydney City Council permission to hold the two displays. John Barilaro, in that tweet, was arguing virtually on two fronts. He was arguing the fact that the conditions are bad, and we know there's a high fire danger, terrible conditions in the metropolitan area of Sydney tomorrow. And he also was arguing that we need to do what regional councils have done. My view is I don't agree with either point. What about you?
I don't either, and I normally do agree with John Barilaro, but I think that, look, this is a terribly traumatic time, and you know, I understand the stages of grief that we're all feeling, you know, the fear, the sadness, the anger, the emotions tied with all of this. But I do note that a lot of councils, as well as the rural areas, are cancelling their fireworks, and I get that, and I support that. But in this case, you know, I was actually at a party before I came here, and one of the guests was saying, but you know, that money should be going to the RFS and to the drought, you know, stricken farmers, but it won't, because it's already been spent.
It's already been spent.
It's not going to.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, it would be lovely if they could raise some money, take some cans around and do that. But I also think we all need a bit of an injection of joy and hope and all of those things as well. So I think it would be totally wrong to cancel it.
Yeah, I agree entirely with you. And Jim, when you think of it, the firing of crackers in Sydney, and I'm talking about Sydney CBD, it's over a very large body of water. I'm sure if it was dangerous, the RFS would have pulled it up.
I'm sure that's exactly right, and I agree with Prue, Chris, and what Prue says. What interests me about this is that I don't fully understand why John Barilaro, who's my local state member, I don't really understand why John has come out and said that at this stage. Surely this is something which a deputy premier says to a premier in the quiet of the party room or in the quiet of the office.
And it flies in the face of his leader. It flies in the face of his leader because late yesterday, Gladys Berejiklian had made it quite clear that it would probably go ahead, and only if they got some kind of bad ruling from the RFS.
Yeah, I think that's the case, and the ultimate determinant is the view of the RFS, and there is a different circumstances from somewhere out west, which may only have very limited fire resources there, whereas I can only imagine that the urban fire and rescue organisation will maintain the fire watch around the celebrations that night. So it's not as though we're dragging resources away from the big fires.
No, exactly.